Okay. Weight Loss Wednesday needs to have a momentary switch to Weight Gain Wednesday. Prednisone alone has created such a problem for me, not to mention the issue of edema or retaining fluid directly related to my cirrhosis. So there are some things that you can kind of do, like my immunosuppressants have allowed my liver to stop being under such attack, and those numbers are they're not in the bounds of being normal, but they're close. But in the meantime, I do have cirrhosis. I do have significant cirrhosis, and most of my symptoms, I now realize, were never really tied to my liver just by itself. It's the liver and it's the cirrhosis that it's come to, because it's probably been doing this. From what I understand, this has been going on probably since my senior year of high school. And when I had my gallbladder out, nobody said, let's check, for autoimmune hepatitis on this 17, 18-year-old girl. It's a rare condition. That doesn't make it special. That doesn't make it, elite. We don't have jackets. But I'm in a support group for autoimmune diseases on Facebook, and it's just bewildered. I'm bewildered at the number of people that have these issues. Some I feel are worse than mine. Some I feel are more lucky than mine. It just depends on what you're looking at and what you're comparing. Is it quality of life? Is it side effects? Is it how you can function in the world? So many people are facing the same issue, and I'm facing the issue of my medications causing issues for me, like constipation, on top of the fact that I have IBS-C. The latest medication I'm being suggested to try is, I can't pronounce it right now, it starts with an R, and it's for treating hepatic encephalopathy, which sounds great, right? Wow, if I could, keep these things in check, then my cirrhosis symptoms may not be quite so terrible, and maybe I could actually be a person again. But the problem with this is the new medication that they want me to try has significant warnings about constipation, not being able to feel like feeling the urge to go, but you can't. And everything points to trying to correct. It says one of its uses is to address IBS-D for diarrhea. And I don't have that. I have the opposite now. I have constipation, and it's already a nightmare trying to get back to that. Whenever I have a flare, which occurs, who knows why, because nobody can tell me what triggers flares generally. I know stress can be a factor. I don't know what else I would blame it on, I guess, for lack of a better word. I don't have a lot of people, sorry if I'm moving topics, I don't have a lot of people that believe me. They see that I'm fat. They assume that's what's wrong. People in my own family, you're just lazy. Why don't you just get up and go for a walk instead of sitting there on your couch watching TV? I'm like, well, why don't we trade bodies for a minute, and I'll go to work in your fit body, and you can go to work in my body and see how long you last. Everybody has their own issues, and when somebody doesn't, that's why they don't understand. So, to be honest, I don't even know what else to do with this channel. 10 people are subscribed. Nobody has their own account, apparently, besides my wife, because nobody makes a comment, even though I've asked to like, to comment, to share. So it's really been an eye-opener about the people in my life or around my life that should be supportive during this time. And whether they intend to be or not, it doesn't come across for me. It doesn't make me feel like, hey, I know that they have their own life, and everybody does. Everybody has their own lives. Nobody wants to just sit there and listen to somebody else complain about their problems unless they're seeking that solidarity. And anyway, I'm pretty disenchanted with the whole experience of this channel. I'm scared about trying this new medication that is just listed from head to toe. Watch out for bankruptcy. Indeed. Health bankruptcy, let's call it. Chapter 11, though, full on. You still have to deal with stuff. That was a random slip, for not really Freudian, but slip either way. I don't know what I was saying, but it has to do with this medicine, I guess. The medicine is supposed to be helpful in correcting the encephalopathy, but at the same time, it contributes so drastically the constipation issue that there are multiple warnings about how that will happen, as well as one of its main treatment focuses is on IBS-D. And that means something scary for me, I think, because I'm already having a hard time. I already have IBS. I have everything hurts from my whole system. For those who don't really understand that, your GI system is kind of interdependent from your mouth to your butthole, and all the stuff, you go from your mouth to your stomach to your small intestines to your large intestines and then out. None of those things have a trap door where they can get into your body unless you have leaky gut syndrome or something like that. But otherwise, it impacts everything that you do because there's blood supply to every other organ through what you eat. They send stuff through your liver to be dealt with, and when your liver is failing because you have cirrhosis like me, it can't get all the things out. But this is a system that works without being in the body by being connected to it. So it's not as easy to wrangle, I guess, is my point, because it's a whole system, again, from mouth to butthole, and everything kind of happens all at once, and you're like, which one is the worst thing that I'm dealing with versus what's the worst thing that's going on in my body to treat? So weighing out the benefits versus the risk, this newest medication may help my encephalopathy, or it may not, but it will possibly cause a whole slew of side effects. Like when you see them on the commercials and they're like, see if this will work for you. You could have new quality of life as suggested by these actor portrayals in the background. Well, we take a whole minute of this commercial just to let all the side effects go on the bottom scroll so that we have legally told you that you could, die or be impaled on something or whatever. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if all the things that could happen to me and my body are worth going through that because of my memory. That's a really tough benefit risk analysis. I just don't know how to feel about it. But I guess I'm kind of on my own as far as trying to seek support here, because other than my wife and a friend who's actually in Australia but still manages to make comments or talk to me, most people don't. They don't subscribe, they don't comment. So this was one of my last outlets to be like, hey, I could get some support here. Support is extremely helpful. And I don't have anyone here besides my wife, because the only other person, and her mom, but the only other person that I know here, she threw me away twice because I make the mistake over and over again of giving people the benefit of the doubt and not being someone who just throws people in the trash because it no longer suits their palate to have me in their lives. I've never been someone who would throw people away. I don't like it. I don't like it done to me. It's chicken shit. If you have a problem with someone, talk to them. Work it out. Be on the same page. People that think that narcissists are horrible and don't know that they're narcissists is the worst kind of narcissist there is. Like Trump. Like the person who threw me away twice. And so, or the other person who threw me away like 4 times. A runner. That's what I call those. Those are runners. They do more than ghost. They ghost to the point where this could be in a movie. How are we going to track them down? They're a ghost. They know how to live off the grid. Blah, blah, blah. My hair falling out has gotten worse. My weight issue is still an issue. And it's mainly I'm getting a little bit of fat shaming or symptom skip, assuming that fat is the problem. Like my water weight. I've weighed more than I am on the scale and had less problems with my clothing size than I do now. I should be able to fit into the clothes that I'm wearing now, but my abdomen especially is so filled with fluid that I can't wear most of that stuff right now. And the worst part about it is because I present already with being obese, nobody wants to believe me that it's not just fat, it's not just obesity, it is also edema, and it is fluid retention. And I'm really sick and tired of being told by doctors who don't want to don't want to work around outside the box, don't want to treat the whole person. I would not talk to anyone about my weight right now, because they would just be like, why don't you just eat less and exercise more? Because that is actually the best way to do it. Eat not necessarily less, but eat the right kind of foods that you feel full and that actually help you fuel your body, and exercise to keep your muscles up and be more, it helps your, oxygen saturation. It helps your bowels move. We're made to move. And the fact that I am constantly being able to not move, or not being allowed to move is a better way to say it, it is really difficult. And all the people that kind of look down their nose at me because I'm fat and dealing with all this is like the way I get looked at sometimes when I'm at a restaurant, especially when I used to go by myself when I was single. You go to a restaurant and you're ordering your food like anybody else, getting a to-go box like most people would, and I would still not be able to polish off a whole meal at a restaurant even before I had any of these issues. I liked the leftovers. It was like justifying the cost. If your entree is $10 plus a beverage and, server tip and stuff, that could be, $25. But if you divide that, then it actually spreads out between other meals. It's more able to be justified why you're spending that money, I guess. So I'm really sad. I'm really sad about my whole health situation. I'm really sad at the lack of support that I feel. This YouTube channel feels like a 10-year-old bra with no underwire. And if you're a guy, ask someone in your life that's a girl why that's a thing. That's what I feel like. I have no support outside of my home and some family. I don't really have any friends anymore because they left. They threw me away and they left. Once again, putting into play the notion that I don't deserve their consideration. I don't deserve to be their friend versus people I talk to that I can count on. Even if I'm banging my drum every day about my symptoms and sound like an old person just talking about my symptoms, they never make me feel bad about it, even if it's annoying. I don't know what to do. I don't know why I'm spending time making this video or any other. I put myself out there. I'm extremely vulnerable in these videos. For what? To remind me how alone I am in my fight against all of this? So, if there's anybody out there who actually wants to see more of this content, you're going to have to tell me, or your lack of comment are going to speak the volumes that you can't. And I'll just stop. Nobody wants to be vulnerable and put themselves out there for the benefit of people learning about the condition that's so misunderstood that it has a stigma because hepatitis is in the title. Gaslighting me about my weight as if I don't recognize the difference between fat and fluid weight. I've been fat a long time. I am very well used to what fat feels like versus water weight. I'm not who I am. I'm not who I used to be. I used to put journals together and make plans, work out this time, eat this stuff. It doesn't work that way anymore. I'm so lost on how to even begin to lose weight. I have to eat so many different things that I don't really like, and I have to remove a bunch of things that used to be good choices but no longer can be. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put a couple of pictures. I'm going to put the picture of the last time I felt what it was like to be thin. Just completely flat stomach, flat everything really. I was a kid. And having to worry about my size or anything like that didn't even occur to me at that age. It shouldn't occur to me at that age. And then the progress of that circumstance. I'm just going to put a couple photos at the end, and I don't know what else. So I will just leave with this. Anybody watching this video who knows anybody dealing with something. My wife found a quote or a meme or something the other day that was talking about invisible diseases and how some people believe that you're faking it, and it's like, you've got it all wrong. I'm not faking being sick. When I'm smiling and trying to be funny and trying to try different ways to present these videos, that's me trying to hide it. That's me trying to feel and sound normal. That's my way of trying not to portray myself as in constant pain and the whole health issue that I'm dealing with. When you see me acting like none of those things are happening, that's why, because I'm putting so much effort into that. Me talking to you here at this really not attractive angle, with tears running down my face, with everything that I'm dealing with right now. I don't get vulnerable with people. I don't trust it. And all this is doing so far is reminding me why. So I guess I'll pay attention to how many people actually comment or say they want to see anything else, because I put a lot of my symptoms and stuff on hold. It takes me hours to make the little videos that I put out here. And I don't have any special effects. I'm not nominated for anything. No Tony. I don't have millions of viewers. I just... Enjoy the photos. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And by the weekend, I'll know if I even need to do anything else, because as it is so far, it doesn't seem like it.